I have our tail here and our hips starting to form. And I have taken and put stitches 11 through 18 on a separate needle, kind of isolated them a little bit. And here's our tail. We're on a knit row. And this is our right side. Now, you know that nifty right leg you've already written, yeah, you've written it already. You've already knitted it. I like using the Kitchener stitch, and I think I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure. Because if you do it right, it's almost impossible to tell that you've taken two pieces and melded them together. So when you're doing the Kitchener stitch, you want to make sure that when you start, let's get the needles out of here as much as we can, you want to make sure that you start with your fabric, you know, facing each other. You don't want to do it with your fabric like this, inside out to right side out. You want to make sure they're together. And you find your, this is the long tail we left. Find where that is. And we're going to start with that on the bottom. Now, there's a nice pattern to this. It's like a knit, purl, purl, knit. Knit, purl, purl, knit. And I always start okay. Now if we were going to knit this stitch, we'd come up like this. If we were going to purl the stitch, we would be coming, the needle would be going that way. So we're going to knit and slide that stitch off. Knit, purl. And I'm all tangled up here. Hold on. It's tedious, but it's worth it. Knit, purl. Oops. And then we're going to go in like it's a purl. Slip that off and knit. Okay. Now, this is our last stitch that we worked with. Now we're going to go in and we're going to go in like we're knitting it, slip it off, and go in like we're going to purl that stitch. Now we're up at the top. This is the stitch we left with. We're going to go in like a purl and out like a knit. And just leave it loose for now. And again, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, slip it off, purl, purl, slip it off, knit. Okay, we're almost to the end here. Knit. Let's keep going on this leg. Knit, purl. Oops. It's stuck. Now remember, these are the original 11 back here, so we're just going to keep going till we use those up. Okay, that was, so now I'm doing a purl, knit. The way I remember it is you always start with the knit, purl on your bottom row. You always start with a purl, knit on the top. That's a knit, purl, purl knit. I know it looks tedious and it's difficult to keep track of everything. Purl knit, but it makes such a beautiful melding that it's worth it. Knit, purl. Okay, purl. There we go. Just slide those off. Now, here's the beauty of it. I want to go back and start tightening these up. And if you do it wrong, you're going to know right away. If you do a purl and a knit and a knit and a purl instead of a knit and a purl and a purl and a knit, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now there are other videos out there that show it better because I'm trying to meld, you know, a leg and a hip together. And it's complicated when you're still got other stitches hanging around like that. Other needles. But that is absolutely gorgeous. And when you stuff it, it's going to be smooth and even, and it's going to look like you knitted it all at the same time. And you're going to do that with the left knee as well before you start knitting back and forth again. Now when we do start knitting again, you're going to knit across here and just pick these stitches up in the back right there. In fact, I'm going to put them on the needle right now. And when I get there, I am going to take my tail, which is sitting right there. I'm going to take this and I'm going to loop it through here and just tighten these stitches right up so that's not quite so ugly. There, look at that. Isn't that nice? Now it's all nice and neat. I usually leave my tails here hanging